Hello everyone and welcome to my review of episode number 3 of BB28. So tonight was the HOH episode, of course. Um, if you notice, you might notice me talking a little bit quieter. That's because I've got people who I live with that need to be up early for work tomorrow, so I might try to talk a little bit quieter, so just want to get that out of the way for tonight or any other future videos. If you hear me talking a little bit quieter, then that would be why. So, yes. So episode number 3 was aired on Sunday, July 12th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And it was a 90-minute episode, which I found kind of interesting because nothing really super significant happened tonight. So I'm not really sure why it was an hour and a half. I'm not really complaining. The longer episodes, sign me up for that. But um, yeah, it was a bit of a longer one tonight. So, the episode starts off by them showing the HOH competition and how it ended. They showed Devin's team. His tower, his flame would actually topple over. He was pretty close to winning. And then it showed Angela's tower also toppling over. But then I noticed that with Dee's team, her team seemed to have the platform a little bit lower than the other two teams. So I thought, this kind of seems smart. I feel like Dee might win this. So Dee does end up, in fact, winning the first HOH of the season. So I'm kind of okay with that. I wasn't rooting for Angela. Don't tell anybody. But we all know, I've made it very clear how I feel about Angela. But yeah, so Dee ends up becoming the first HOH of the season. And now I might have missed this. I don't know when they said this. Maybe it just went right over my head, but there's 3 nominees tonight. There are 3 nominees tonight. I thought there were 2. So I don't know if they announced this in a previous episode and I just missed it, but yeah, 3 nominees. So yeah, so Dee now something I do want to mention here is Dee promised her team safety. We're gonna come back to that a little bit later, because I think Dee might have messed up slightly here. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it, but we'll come back to that a little bit later. So, Devin's team ends up being the first have-nots of the season because they finished last in the competition. So this means that him, along with Drew, Chuck, Haley, and Taylor, are the first have-nots of the season. So that's never fun, obviously. So obviously they would show the have-not room, and it's the bed is like it's a giant circular wooden table, and it spins constantly, apparently while they're asleep. So I sure hope they don't have motion sickness, because I'm thinking that's not going to be very fun to sleep on. Like, it's hard, it's wood, so yeah, I feel really bad for anyone who has to sleep on that thing. It's constantly moving throughout the night, so yeah, that's a very interesting room and a very interesting bed. So I don't think anyone's gonna be too big of a fan of that. So they would show the house guests introducing themselves like they always do every season, where they gather around the couch and they stand up one at a time, introduce themselves. Couple things I do want to point out here. So Angela says she might recognize Jason from the drag queen. She wasn't sure though. She was like, "Oh, I think you look kind of familiar. I think I might have seen you before." So right away I'm thinking, "Uh-oh, this might put a target on Jason a little bit." He is safe though this week from nominations because um he guaranteed his safety along with Rome and Chuck. They can't be nominated this week, so he's fine this week. But I'm thinking this might end up putting a target on him a little bit later on. We'll see. Um, Now, something here that kind of makes me a little bit happy, but also nervous at the same time. Rome and Lyric, they're talking like they're talking, oh, I think they're good looking. Like Rome is clearly attracted to Lyric, and Lyric is clearly attracted to Rome, And as I stated in the previous episode, my previous video, Rome is my favorite out of the guys and Lyric is my favorite out of the girls. So I'm like, are we going to have a showmance here between these two? More on that a little bit later. But I'm like, come on, my favorite guy and my favorite girl getting into a showmance. But at the same time, getting into a showmance can put a target on you as well. So that's why I'm starting to feel kind of nervous here. So, something kind of really odd here. Ashley has never had a hamburger. Just thought I would throw that in there. I mean, that's kind of shocking. I mean, it's like never had a hamburger. I forget how old she is. She's in her 20s, 24, I want to say, but she's never had a hamburger. I thought that was pretty interesting. So there's a pretty random fun fact there for you. So, just continuing to go through my notes here. So Angela is shown talking to Dee in the HOH room and giving her advice because, Angela's done this before. I will say Angela has been okay so far this season. Nothing too crazy yet. And I do also want to mention as well, I'm going to make sure I say this in every episode, every video. I do not watch the live feeds, so whatever happens there, I don't know. I have no idea. I just watch the episodes on TV and that's it. So, yeah, it shows Angela talking to Dee in the HOH room, and they do end up forming an alliance here. So, Kamu and Chuck, they make an alliance. They're trying to get Haley on board as well. And I'm thinking, I like this trio, they're three pretty physical, physical threats, I would say. And, so yeah, an alliance is made there between, those three. And then Jason is shown being really emotional around Angela. So Jason is talking about how he's not really used to opening up to, or I should say, he's having a hard time opening up to people he's not familiar with. Because again, he was on Drag Queen, which I don't know anything about. I've never seen that show. But Jason is, of course, gay, right? So I actually didn't know this, but Angela's son is also gay. So Jason is opening up to Angela, and Angela would obviously understand that having a gay son. So that was a pretty cool moment there to see. I couldn't imagine what that's like. Yeah, you're just like you're on one show where everyone kind of understands you in that sense, and then you go into a house with a bunch of different people, and yeah, that'd be difficult for sure. But that was a really cool moment though for sure. So they show the have not room again, and yeah, this bed, this wooden circular bed, this thing spins all night apparently. So I'm thinking, oh gosh, like who the heck is gonna get sleep on that thing? I don't know. I mean, if you get motion sickness, then you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. And personally, I don't get motion sickness, so I might be okay with that. But yeah, it doesn't look very comfortable at all, does it? So, so it would show Haley, Kamu, and Chuck. So Kamu and Chuck went to Haley. They tried to recruit her, and Haley is on board. So the trio is officially born now. And now what's kind of funny here is Dee and Devins would agree to work with each other. So that, I don't know. I don't know about this because like I like Dee and Devins. I love both of them so far. Um, but I'm thinking like this seems really obvious, right? Because like they're both coming from Survivor. You'd think people might see this coming. So I don't know how it's gonna work out long term. So apparently as well, Dee and Devins, they didn't have the best history in Survivor. I don't know what happened there. Again, I don't watch Survivor, but apparently they didn't have the best stuff, best history stuff happened in the past. I don't know what exactly, but yeah. So that happened. So then they would show Mallory, Lyric, and Melody together in a room. They were doing like working out with each other. So I'm thinking, okay, is this going to be a possible alliance here? I don't think there's an official alliance between those three. There might be by now. So I'm thinking, okay, I like this trio. I like all three of them. I like Mallory. I mentioned Lyric is my favorite out of the girls, and I do like Melody as well. I will say at the moment there isn't really anybody I don't like. It's still early. That's gonna change. So, um, yeah, there might be an alliance happening there. Not really official as far as I know. So now here, this is really funny. So Dee and Devins, they're trying to bring in the trio of Kamu, Chuck, and Haley. So apparently they had the same idea. So Dee and Devins had the same idea as Kamu, Chuck, and Haley. They wanted to recruit each other, and before you know it, we have our first official alliance born between the five of these people, the Red Corner Alliance. So this consists of Dee, Devins, Kamu, Chuck, and Haley. This group could go far if they can stick with each other. Like they're all physical threats, all five of them. Dee is the HOH, so Dee and Devins were on Survivor. This group could go very far if they stick together, but we'll see what happens. So, and I just want to say, like, Devins, I didn't know anything about him coming into this season because, again, I don't watch Survivor, but he's hilarious. I like him. I really do like him. I hope he goes far. And the fact that he's already made a pact with Dee, hopefully that bodes well with for him. So yeah, I like Devin so far. I do. Good choice by Big Brother bringing him in. I approve. So now they would show that this part's kind of funny, but made me kind of nervous at the same time. So they would show Rome and Lyric in a bed together, and it's a showmance. It is definitely a showmance. Day 2, and they're already in a bed, cuddling with each other. They're kissing each other, which is kind of crazy to think about day 2. But um, what's funny here is Mallory was in the bed, the bunk below them, and she's trying to sleep, having a hard time because of the kissing. And then Yash, he would go to the pod beside them, and he was also having a hard time sleeping because of them kissing. So right away I'm thinking this is pretty cool. So my favorite guy and my favorite girl, they're in a showmance, but then I'm like, wait a second. They're in a showmance. They're making it very, very clear that they are in a showmance. It's gonna put a target on them. Now Rome is safe. Rome can't be nominated this week, but I'm thinking, oh God, please, please don't let Lyric be nominated because I do really like the both of them. So right away I'm kind of nervous because like, oh God, don't put her up already, please. So they would then show Angela, Dee, and Devins. They made another alliance. There's another alliance here being formed. So they would bring in Drew and Barrett, and before you know it, we have another alliance born, the Crossovers Alliance. So this alliance is also 5 people. Angela, Dee, Devins, Drew, and Barrett are all part of it. So Dee and Devins are in 2 different alliances. So this could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. If you're in too many alliances, you gotta be careful not to show your cards. I don't know. Right now, I would say they're in a pretty good spot, Dee and Devins, but it's early, right? So we'll see what happens. Now, Devins would end up. He might have messed up here a little bit, just a little bit. So Devins would tell Angela and Drew about the Red Corner Alliance. So that alliance does not consist of Angela and Drew. He might have messed up here because I like Devins. I do still like him. But because he went to Dee, I like how he's being transparent here. He went to Dee and he told her that he told Angela and Drew about the Red Corner Alliance. Dee was not happy about that, so um, I'm thinking, Devins, what are you doing here? I don't know. I do still like him. I'm kind of nervous that long term for him if he keeps doing that, but yeah, Dee was not a fan of that, needless to say. So then this was a big red flag here. So they would show Mallory talking to Dee in the HOH room, and this conversation did not go well in Dee's eyes. So they showed the conversation. There was no game talk at all. Mallory, I do like Mallory. I do. She has a kind of a bit of a quirk to her, which I like, but she's talking about basically nothing to do with the game. It's just like her own personal life and stuff like that, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that on its own. But it would show Dee in the diary room, and she's like, you gotta have a good balance of game talk, but also like IRL stuff. And apparently there was no game talk at all in this conversation. So right away I'm thinking, yeah, Mallory's probably going up. So yeah, it didn't go well. So they're trying to figure out nominees. Dee would toss out a couple of names. A few people threw out different names here and there. So after all is said and done, Dee would end up nominating Mallory, who I expected, and then Yash, which is, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that because Yash was on Dee's team in the HOH competition, and Dee said her entire team would be safe. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. And she also nominated Taylor. Now, I'm not. I don't. I'm not happy with the fact that Mallory is nominated because I do like her. Again, there's nobody I don't like as of now, but that could change. Anyways, her reasoning for the nominations on its own, it made sense because she said she nominated one person from each team in the HOH comp. Okay, makes sense, right? And it's early. She's coming in. She came into the game late. There's 3 people she can't nominate, that being Chuck, Rome, and Jason, so that eliminates 3 right there. She's in an alliance with, what is this? 5? Nope. I'm losing count. It's like 6 or 7 different people, so it doesn't leave very many options, right? And it's 3 nominees, so it's not easy. So her reasoning on its own does make sense, but I I feel like if Yash stays, he's not gonna have a lot of trust in Dee, I feel like, after this, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, after the dust has settled, after the first HOH comp, Dee wins HOH, and Mallory, Yash, and Taylor are now on the chopping block. And I'll say it again, I don't watch the live feeds, I don't watch any of that, so I will have to wait and see what happens on Wednesday, which is the Power Veto episode. Wednesday, July 15th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. There will be a video for that episode as well. So again, only planning on doing a live stream for the live eviction episodes, which will be on Thursday. So yeah, that's about it for tonight. Let me know, guys, how are you liking the season so far? Are you happy with Dee winning HOH? How do you feel about the nominations? I'm not happy that Mallory is on there because I do like Mallory, but we'll see what happens, right? We never know who's gonna go. You got power of veto and stuff can change. It's Big Brother. Who knows what's gonna happen, right? But anyways, that is it for tonight's review, I should say, of episode number 3 of BB28. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.